This week on the CNET Tech Review, Samsung's latest 4G phone is truly epic, a new digital pen that can read your handwriting. We've got an external hard drive that's fire and waterproof, and we count down the top 5 cat videos on YouTube. It's all coming up right now. Hi everyone, I'm Molly Wood and welcome to the CNET Tech Review, where we collect our hottest videos of the week and tell you what's good and what's bad in the world of tech. Plus we offer some unique tech wisdom in the form of the bottom line. Let's start with the good. Sprint's 4G service is still being rolled out around the country, but you don't have to wait to enjoy the many fancy features of a 4G phone or spend a ton of cash to do so. Take a look at the epic 4G from Samsung.
I'm Nicole Lee, Senior Associate Editor for CNET.com, and this is a first look at the Samsung Epic 4G for Sprint Nextel. The Epic 4G has the most features and is the most advanced phone out of the Samsung Galaxy S family. As you can see here, it is the only Galaxy S phone to have a physical keyboard, 4G, and a front-facing camera. It is also the only one with a flash LED on the back. The overall design is very solid. It feels very solid in the hand and has quite a large footprint. That's because on the front here is a very generous and very colorful 4-inch Super AMOLED touchscreen display. It is absolutely stunning, vibrant, and brilliant. It has a very wide viewing angle, and it has higher contrast ratios when compared to ordinary LCD displays. Aside from YouTube and your own videos, the Samsung Epic 4G will also have access to Samsung's upcoming Media Hub that lets you rent and purchase movies, TV shows, and other content. We don't know yet who the content partners are, however. The Epic 4G is also the only one where you can download Media Hub content via Wi-Fi as well as 4G. Like the other Galaxy S phones, the Epic 4G comes with the new TouchWiz 3.0 interface. This includes new widgets like feeds and updates for all your social networking content, and Buddies Now, which acts like a favorites list for all your contacts. Instead of a scrolling menu like with other Android phones, you get a grid view with lateral panels. The phone slides open to reveal a full QWERTY keyboard, which we like a lot. It's spread out evenly across the phone thanks to the phone's large size. We really appreciate the physical keys for the usual Android controls on the side here, as an alternative to the touch-sensitive controls underneath the display. The overall keyboard is really nice and tactile, and it's easily one of the best keyboards we've ever tried. That said, the virtual keyboard is great too, especially with swipe. There's a 5.0 megapixel camera on the back, which takes great photos, especially with the LED flash. The Epic 4G comes with Android 2.1, which of course brings the usual Google features like Gmail and Google Maps. The Epic 4G is also upgradable to Android 2.2 in the future. Other features of the phone include Wi-Fi, eVideo Rev-A for 3G, and 4G WiMAX where available. As we said, there's a front-facing camera on the front here, so you can use it with quick and free video calling services. Other services on the phone include Sprint services like Sprint Zone, NASCAR Sprint Mobile, and more. The Epic 4G also has a 1GHz Hummingbird processor, which keeps it running along very smoothly. You'll also be able to use the smartphone as a mobile hotspot, 3G or 4G, for up to 5 devices. The Epic 4G is available for $250 with a new 2-year service agreement and after a $100 mail-in rebate. Like the Evo 4G, however, there is a $10 extra fee for the data plan. That $10 extra gives you 4G access as well as access to premium data services. I'm Nicole Lee. This has been the first look at the Samsung Epic 4G.
Yeah, it is kind of bulky, but that giant slide-out keyboard is huge and therefore awesome. I think I love that phone actually, to an epic degree. Next up, we've got a pen. Yes, a pen, the kind you write with. Also the kind that talks to you and puts all your notes on the internet. Here's Donald Bell with the Livescribe Echo.
Hey, I'm Donald Bell, and today we're taking a first look at the Echo Smart Pen from Livescribe. The pen comes in a 4GB version for $169 and an 8GB model for $199. You get the pen, an ink refill, 2 pen caps, a USB cable, and a pad of special paper that's required to make it work. So why spend up to $200 on a glorified ballpoint pen? Well, the Echo has 3 ingredients that make it special. There's a microphone for recording audio, a speaker for playing back recordings, and a camera hidden in the tip that captures your pen movements. You pair it up with this special paper and you have the ability to take notes and record sound at the same time. It could be a college lecture or an interview, or maybe you just like to brainstorm and doodle at the same time. So here's the magic trick. When it's time to review your notes, the timeline of the audio recording is synced to what you wrote down. So just tap a section and the audio from that moment plays back through the speaker or the standard headphone jack on the top.
You take notes, sound. It's really good for lectures.
A USB port is also on the top of the pen that you can use to sync your notes and recordings back to any Mac or PC. You'll need to download the free Livescribe desktop software to make it work, but then you can export notes as AAC audio, an image file, PDF, or as a pencast file. You also have the option of uploading the pencast to an online locker where it can be shared online or embedded into a web page. The same software also allows you to download and install applications that run on the pen, such as dictionaries, games, and travel phrases for different languages. Overall, the Echo Smart Pen is very impressive. It perfectly tracked all our notes and is smart enough to know when you start a new page or when you write down a new note while listening back to a recording. Is there a catch? Well, you do have to use a special paper which you can print out yourself on a color printer or buy for around $5 a notebook. The cool thing about the notebook though is that you get all these little shortcut controls for the pen and recording settings, a calculator, and quick buttons for record, pause, stop, skip, audio bookmarks, a timeline bar for jumping around the audio, playback speed, and volume control. The pen refills are unique too. It's just regular ink, but the cartridges are shorter than average, so they run out a little faster. A 5-pack of refills is like $5, so no biggie, but they can be inconvenient to track down when you're in a pinch. Also, you have to keep an eye on battery life. Mileage will vary depending on how high you have the display brightness and recording quality settings, but if you use this on a daily basis, expect to charge it daily as well. Finally, remember, it's a pen. People tend to lose pens. The Echo can be personalized with the name and the content can be password protected, but ultimately if you tend to lose pens, this isn't the way to go. That said, on its merits as a pen alone, the Echo should satisfy those who are picky about those kinds of things. Compared with the first generation model called the Pulse, the Echo has a lighter, more tapered design with better balance and a flat edge that keeps it from rolling off tables. So that's the Echo Smart Pen, a genuinely novel and useful approach for capturing and reviewing audio and handwritten notes. For CNET.com, I'm Donald Bell.
Now if it only came with a disposable pen cap for you to chew on in class. I don't want to get slobber in my USB port. Ew. Storage prices have been plummeting recently, with terabyte hard drives going for less than $100. In fact, the data on your drive is probably more valuable than the drive itself. So it might be worth spending a few extra bucks to protect your files.
Backing up is important. However, in case of fire flood, most of your backup drives won't survive, unless you have what I'm going to show you today. Hello, my name is Dong-O, and this is the Solo Pro fireproof, waterproof external hard drive from IOSafe. The IOSafe Solo Pro is not an external hard drive for everyone. It's huge and it's very heavy, about 15 times the weight of a normal external hard drive. It's also comparatively expensive, costing around $250 for 1 terabyte or $420 for 2 terabyte. To make up for this, it comes with layers of protection designed to guarantee the survival of your data even under extreme heat and water submersion. According to IOSafe, the Solo Pro can protect the data against extreme heat up to 1500 degrees Fahrenheit and water submersion down to 10 feet for 3 days. While we don't have the resources to test the drive in the extreme condition, IOSafe have shown us many live demonstrations to prove the effectiveness of their disaster-proof drives. Other than that, this is a simple storage solution. On the front, the Solo has a large blue LED light that shows the power status. This light flashes to show the hard drive's activities. On the back, it has one USB 3.0 port, a small ventilation fan, and an on-off switch. You can also buy a Solo Pro with an eSATA port, but then you have to lose the USB 3.0 port. Unfortunately, there's no option to have a more than one type connection. The Solo Pro comes with just one USB 3.0 cable and nothing else. However, it ships with 1 year guarantee that includes IOSafe Data Recovery Service, which take care of getting the data back for you in case of disaster. In case the hard drive is so badly damaged by fire or water and an expensive forensic-like recovery service is required, the warranty will cover up to $2,500 of the cost. Customer can also upgrade to a 3 or 5-year warranty for $50 or $100 respectively. For more information, check out the in-depth review at CNET.com. Once again, my name is Dong, and this has been the first look at the IOSafe Solo Pro fireproof, waterproof external hard drive from IOSafe.
Oh, Dome, I'm disappointed. I really wanted to see you break out your flamethrower, or at least pop that baby in a fish tank. Come on. All right, now it's time to check in with Jason Parker to find out which apps the team is tapping this week.
Hello and welcome to Tap That App. I'm Jason Parker, and this is the show where we cover the hottest apps in the mobile space. This week, we're showing off a trifecta of iPhone games that are fun, challenging, and easy to pick up and play. And no, we're not talking about Angry Birds. No, this week, we're talking about Skee-Ball, Flick Kick Football, and Stardunk. To get started, Skee-Ball has been in the iTunes App Store for more than a year now, but remains an excellent way to waste a little time wherever you are. Just like arcades of old, the object of Skee-Ball is to flick 10 balls down an alley and try to land them in cups with different score values. Hitting lit cups add to your bonus, and when you're done, you can even spend your winnings on cheap trinkets and other items in the loot shop. Skee-Ball is a lot of fun and is 99 cents at the iTunes App Store. If Skee-Ball is not your thing, check out Flick Kick Football. This game challenges you to flick a soccer ball into a goal around stationary defenders and sometimes a moving goalkeeper. As you progress through the game, you'll need to hit skill shots near the edges of the goal to earn extra lives so missed shots won't end your game. You can even do curve shots to kick the ball around defenders with a curved swipe of your finger. Flick Kick Football is surprisingly fun and challenging the more you play, and you can get it at the App Store for just 99 cents. Our third great pick-up-and-play game is Stardunk, a basketball shooting game with an arcade twist. Shoot a basket by touching and moving your finger on the touch screen to adjust your shot trajectory, then let go to shoot. Hitting all 4 bars on the backboard gives you a random bonus that can make the hoop wider or let you shoot multiple balls at once. As you progress, you'll be able to unlock and experiment with different balls with unique properties to see what works best for you. Best of all, you can play online against other players in a 1.5-minute long shootout to see who gets the high score. Stardunk has no actual slam dunks, but it's definitely fun and a steal at 99 cents. To sum it up, let's face it, some iPhone games are made for those times you need a quick time waster, and each of these 3 games fit the bill nicely. If you're an iPhone user, I recommend tapping all 3 of these apps. That's it for this week's show. If you have any suggestions, send them to tapthatApp@CNET.com. I'm Jason Parker, and we'll see you next week.
I don't care what you say, Jason. I love Angry Birds. But maybe these games will help tide me over until the next levels are released. Come on already. All right, it's time to take a break. I don't know about you, but I am going to use this time to hunt down some more little green pigs. We'll be right back with more CNET Tech Review right after this. Welcome back to the CNET Tech Review, our weekly video digest of all things good and bad we've seen here at CNET TV. Continuing on with the good, just because Apple is in a big fight with Adobe over Flash, that doesn't mean all of Adobe's products are forbidden. You can still use Photoshop on your Mac. You could edit video with Premiere if you really want to. And now Scott Stein is here to show you how to read your PDF files on your iPad.
Hi, I'm Scott Stein, Senior Associate Editor at CNET.com, and we're going to show you how to get PDF books onto your iPad. Now, the reason we're bringing this up is because the iPad's a fantastic e-reader. There are a number of e-reading software options on there, iBooks, the Kindle, Barnes & Noble's app, and more, in fact. And they're all compelling and they're all great, except for there's a question of, unless you're purchasing them, how do you get stuff onto it from outside? Well, you may already know that if you have an EPUB file, but what if it's something else? In fact, what if it's something that you've written? I'm a writer and other people may be too, or you may have documents you want to bring on there and glance at as well. Well, for that, PDFs are a much easier way to use the e-reader functions on your iPad than EPUB. While there are some other great PDF readers as well, including Goodreader for 99 cents, a very diverse program that allows you to also import directly from the web or even from Google Docs. It can go onto the file server and pull the documents down. iBooks is a lot easier in the sense that it's built in already, and it actually looks really nice and pretty, we'll admit it. Step one, and maybe the most challenging step, is actually saving your document as a PDF. Now, if you haven't done it before, you may be confused as to how exactly to do it. On a Mac, it's dead simple. You actually go from the print menu and you can actually save as a PDF from there, from any document or any program that you're working on. And it's actually very simple. A lot of modern word processors can save as PDFs, screenwriting programs, and Google Docs can save automatically as a PDF as well. From there, we find that the easiest way to do it is just email the document to yourself. And we just downloaded a free EPUB. There are a lot out there. This is David Copperfield by Charles Dickens, a 3.9 megabyte file. Once it's downloaded, you can click on it and it opens up a preview within email. Now, at the top, there's an open in button. You just tap that and it actually shows you all of the apps that can read that. We'll pick iBooks and it imports it really quickly. And then it adds it to a library that's a parallel library to what's on your book collection on your iBooks app. Now the difference here is that you can't really change the font sizes, and as you notice, there's no pretty page turning. You're going to have to deal with just side-by-side scrolling if you can bear it. As far as chapters, there really aren't that either. If you press the chapter button at the top, it actually brings up all the pages of the PDF, which can get a little annoying if you're dealing with a tremendously large file. It's not the greatest for large files if you're reading a novel in that regard, although you can search the text within the PDF. Another nice thing about PDF files is they'll retain all of their color and graphics as well. So if you have big brochures or digital magazines, those work great too. Now, if you don't want to email it to yourself, you can always simply do it from iTunes the same way you would with EPUB or other files. When you connect it within iTunes, you can choose to add it within iTunes under the Documents area. You can add the files that you want. So that's it. We would love if you were able to take notes within the PDFs or be able to do some editing as well. Obviously, that's not available with current technology, but hopefully in the future, that type of cloud document support will become easier and easier to use on devices like the iPad. But for now, it's a more diverse e-reader than you think, and it's really easy to get files from your email if you're using PDFs. I'm Scott Stein, and that's how to read PDF ebooks on your iPad.
Hey, I didn't say it was going to be pretty. Like Scott says, you probably won't want to read long PDF novels in iBooks, but a little pamphlet might be okay. Okay, folks, get ready for the bad. Earlier, Nicole Lee showed us a phone that exemplifies all that is good in the world of Android phones. But while Samsung's 4G phone may be epic, Sony Ericsson's Xperia X10 is decidedly less so. Take it away, Kent.
Hi, I'm Kent Sherman, Senior Editor here at CNET.com. Today we're going to take a first look at the Sony Ericsson Xperia X10. Now this is the X10 for AT&T service. It does improve a couple of our biggest problems we had on that original X10. One is that the virtual keyboard now works in landscape mode across all applications. You also have a cheaper price. You can try $149 with 2-year service rather than $700, and the data service is a little improved. But that still doesn't mean we love it. There are a couple things we had a problem with. One is it only runs Android 1.6, so with so many devices coming out now with 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, also there's that Timescape application. Now that's similar to Moto Blur in the sense that it takes all of your emails, text messages, multimedia, Facebook status updates, tweets, rolls them into one steady stream of information. It sort of resembles a deck of cards. I like the idea most of the time behind these applications, but I think the Timescape can be a little overwhelming. It's just a lot of information being thrown at you. When it originally came out, it was one of the larger smartphones around. It's great to have that amount of room on a touchscreen phone. You can really get around and maneuver things that you want, get through the menus, you can type easily, so really like that. You do get 3 home screens. You can populate in the normal Android fashion with folders, with widgets, with shortcuts, anything you'd like. It only supports 65,536 colors, so things look okay, but they just could look a little better. On the top of the phone, there's a 3.5mm headset jack, the power control, and a micro USB port. On the side, you'll see there's the volume rocker, and we also have a camera shutter. On the back, there's a lens for the 8.1 megapixel camera, and behind the battery cover is the micro SD slot. We don't think that's the best location, but as long as it's micro SD and not Sony's memory stick micro proprietary format, we're going to let it slide in this point. Now the X10 does have Sony Ericsson's user interface experience. That's their customized interface for Android devices. I feel a little bit divided on these customized interfaces, but overall, certainly attractive, certainly nice, and it's just Sony Ericsson's effort to put a stamp on the phone. Features on the phone are pretty plentiful. You have that 8.1 megapixel camera, video, you can get messaging, you can get email. If you want most work email, so for Outlook you'll have to go through a separate email applications. I don't really love that idea, but at least it's on the phone. I think it is a good entry for Sony Ericsson's first Android phone, but with that 1.6 OS on there, it's gonna look dated. I'm Ken Sherman, and this is Sony Ericsson Xperia X10.
Only Android OS 1.6 and no ability to upgrade? Why bother? And what a letdown! This phone had tons of buzz when it was announced. All right, now it is time for this week's bottom line. Like most of you out there, we like to spend at least a couple of hours a day watching cat videos on YouTube. Unlike the rest of you, we're able to turn that into work, presenting the top 5 cat videos of all time.
You know, they tell me that YouTube gets 1,500 new cat videos posted every day. So I'm glad to hear that, because that means I'm not the only one who's crazy. I'm Brian Cooley with the CNET Top 5, so shameless I almost feel guilty about it. Almost. It's Top 5 Cat Videos. We hunted down the top videos of cats on YouTube, took out all the lazy compilations and any that looked remotely like cat torment, because we don't roll that way, and came up with these 5 that have monster traffic. Coming in at number 5, it's the Ninja Cat with 12.6 million views. Short, simple, and hilarious. This is that video where the cat keeps getting closer to the camera without ever seeming to move. Brian Tong has the same disturbing habit. Number 4, Nora, the piano-playing cat, 18 million views. The London Times describes her music as somewhere between Philip Glass and free jazz. Yeah, very free. Video of her playing has been studied in scholarly circles, shown on just about every TV talk show and news website, and her music is featured on a CD. And like all great prodigy stories, hers begins with humble roots, a shelter rescue from New Jersey. Number 3, Kitten Fight, 18.5 million views. This transcendent video is actually a set of important life lessons. First, it's about establishing limits on one's behavior through healthy conflict. Second, it shows that no matter how engaged you are in said conflict, that stops when someone pukes. Number 2, 2 Talking Cats, 30.5 million views. Okay, these cats are talking to each other, right? Just like I might do with you. I mean, look. And then they groom each other, which I don't want to do with you. By the way, before we get to number 1, it's not a mystery why there are so many cat videos out there. Cats are the most popular companion animal. Scientific American says there are 600 million living among humans. The Egyptians probably got all this started a relatively short 3,600 years ago. And if you're going to follow their lead, I trust you'll adopt from a shelter. Okay, I know, you're sitting there in that cat sweater you knitted, covered in fur, itching to know the world's number 1 most popular cat video. And this is it. The Mean Kitty song with 36 million views. You know this one was Sparta the Cat, came out back in 2007. Now the music is disturbingly like Men at Work, and I get a broad sense of unease watching that guy run around in his faux hawk and his camo pants, but you can't mess with 36 million, and that's one cute kitty. I'm Brian Cooley. I have 7 cats. And we'll see you next time for another Top 5.
The bottom line this week, Cooley loves his cats. And that is not news. Actually, so does the rest of the world, apparently. Although as cute as they are, I've always been partial to this little guy. Oh, and by the way, nice shirt, Cooley. I think that thing is going to get its own YouTube channel. And that's our show for this week. Join us next time when we'll be back with a brand new tech review. Until then, there are tons of great videos available every day at cnettv.com. I'll see you next time, and thank you for watching.